Greetings and salutations, friends. Tonight we are broadcasting live from the Apocalypse Cabin. That is, we will be, so long as the ramshackle internet system holds up here. We got internet installed, or kind of, yeah, we got internet run here, probably right before summer, and they've been out here like 6 times so far because. I'm not getting anywhere near the bandwidth that I'm paying for. It's probably half of what I'm paying for. And, like I paid for the good plan for once, um, not working well. So if I should happen to phase out of internet existence, you'll know why that is. So today I spent about 10 hours here working on the cabin, and that gave me a lot of time to think and sort of decompress from all of this election stress. And one thing that I was thinking about is, was my life any better under any other president other than Donald Trump? No. Uh, what was my life any worse under any other president other than the current president? No, not really. Um, so, I'm kind of disconnecting from this. I don't know why, but for a while I cared who was going to win, even though I didn't want either of these clowns to win, right? So I was watching everything very closely. Um, yeah, but it is what it is, friends. We are being fed this steady diet of fear porn, and we can either choose to take part in that buffet or we can decline. So today was nice because I didn't, I just checked in with, sort of caught up in the last 20 minutes of whatever news. Seems like nothing changed. They keep saying, something may happen soon, but so far, no. Uh, but like I was saying, I was thinking that, my life is probably not going to change if Biden wins or if Trump wins. I'm still going to have to get up in the morning, go to work, uh, take care of my family, do the normal things that I would be doing regardless of who won. So at this point, I'm trying not to care. But looking ahead, if I do envision a Biden presidency, I have a little bit of anxiety about that. I think he's very weak on many things. I think he's a corporate shill. He's bought and paid for by the technology companies for sure. Um, 1 second, friends. So Biden is, a little bit concerning because you don't know who is it that you just don't know where his allegiances lie. I mean, I believe that he was a huge supporter of the credit card industry, and he was a huge supporter of the Iraq War. Uh, I believe that he's compromised in the form that several because of foreign business deals with him and his son and Burisma and all these different things, and Chinese money and Russian money and Ukrainian money. He can't deal straight with those countries now because he has a financial interest. He's been taking money. He has been taking money. Mario Heat, I want to do some shout outs here. Mario Heat is here and says Basago, Andrew Basago, 2020. Yeah, maybe we entered an alternate timeline because I thought Andrew Basago was supposed to win in 2016, and it appears that he was supposed to win now in 2020, according to him. And I don't know. I didn't even see his name on the ballot. So shout out to KB. KB is here. Shout out to Out of Mind. Out of Mind is here. Shout out to Bunya. Shout out to BG's. BG's requested that I bring Jason Quitt on as a guest, and I'm trying to. I did send him the link. I think he might take us up on it. We'll see. So shout out to See if I got everybody. Shout out to Michael. Michael is back. Shout out to Blind Dave Crypto. Back for a second run here. Shout out to Mario Heat and BG's and Jake Crypto Minded. And Jonicide is here. Good to see you, Jonicide. I think that Victor Sarge is here. Haven't seen you in a while. Now time to see you back. Michael. And Melissa Dawn is here. And she says China owns Biden. Yeah, they might. Well, they at least own his son, which is a little bit of leverage. But tonight I thought we could try at least to get off this election binge watching and talk about something else. I guess the problem is I'm not quite sure what else to talk about. So we're going to open up the live chat and also the live. We're going to take phone calls if it works. I'm going to make sure that my phone is not on airplane. The last time we opened the phone lines, it was very awkward for about 25 minutes while I wondered why nobody was calling in. And then I realized that my phone was on. Okay. My phone was on airplane mode, and it is not right now. So we could take calls. 1 second, friends. I got a banner for that now. We're slowly becoming something like a more professional outfit here, right? I thought we had it. No, we don't. Oh, yeah, we do. Okay. So open phone lines. Oh, there we go. Hello, this is Steven. You're calling us live at the Apocalypse Cabin. Who's this?
This is Jonicide.
Jonicide?
Yeah.
Yeah, how you doing, bro? What's going on?
Just trying to get out of work right now.
Yeah, I hear you. So what did you want to talk about? Besides trying to get out of work? Besides trying to get out of work?
I don't know. I'm sick of the election stuff. I stopped watching it on Tuesday. I just want someone to win. Not the people that are going to, but somebody.
Yeah.
But in 16, I actually voted for Andrew Casago. I wrote him in as my candidate for president.
Well, he couldn't do worse than the clowns they put up there, right?
I thought he had Hillary and he had the Donald, and I went, let's just go with the guy I know is crazy.
Yeah, certifiably crazy. The guy that's been to Mars, traveled to Mars in jump rooms and time traveled.
That is Lincoln's speech in Gettysburg. Met Jim Morrison doing the jump room stuff.
Yeah, Jim Morrison's not dead. He's working for the secret space program.
Actually, he was a rancher in Eastern Oregon.
Oh, boy. Oh, and I forgot.
That was a conspiracy theory I looked into, and it was like, all right, sure, why not?
I forgot to mention, if anybody would like to join in the show, we could have a panel. Just email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com or send me a DM on Twitter or send me a message on Facebook, and I will send you the show link. I forgot here. I'm supposed to send it to a few more people. I'm a bad host.
I love this
show. Well, good. Somebody's got to like this show. 1 second here. All right. I think we might get our English correspondent in tonight. Hopefully we don't. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. So we're trying to talk about something other than the election. I don't know. I spent all day working on this cabin and disconnecting from the internet and the news cycle and just trying to get some things done.
Yeah, I've been ignoring it as much as I can. I watched the show on Tuesday, but I had a bad day at work, had to walk all day, and I was just really sore. Like 8 o'clock my time, I was like, I'm out. I'm falling asleep. I thought we'd have a winner, but who cares?
And even though we don't want to talk about election stuff, people are asking questions in the chat. Somebody asked, what's your take on the dude that says the ballots were secretly marked with blockchain tech? That's not, I don't believe that's accurate, or marked with a chemical, some people have said. Every state generates their own, is in charge of their own election. So that could not really happen. I don't believe the federal government could get involved and force them to use blockchain tech or anything and mark every ballot. So this is just more conspiracy theories, I believe.
Yeah, county I live in, Washington State, we've been voting through mail-in for, I want to say, about 12 years now. I don't remember the last time I actually went in to vote. I've been doing it so long. So we've been doing the mail-in ballots. I mean, I've been doing it, at least be 12 years.
Yeah, I think that they did is really handle things wrong. Like they should have put out there that, listen, the mail-in ballots have to be hand counted, so that's going to take an incredible amount of time, 2 or 3 days longer than usual, or something. They didn't communicate well, and this just leads to all these people with their grand conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I was really not to go on the election, but the DW, who would look good with the mustache, would be more believable, by the way. Yeah, what's he going to say now?
Yeah, for those that don't know, David Wilcock on Monday before the election predicted a Donald Trump landslide. And I heard Vanessa Thor correctly point out that this is just his 11,322nd completely and totally failed prediction. And you cannot trust anything that guy says as being accurate. He can't even guess well. He can't even guess right. He went way out on a limb saying that Trump was going to have a landslide. And now he looks like a douchebag because that didn't happen. Just like none of his other fake psychic predictions ever happened. And you're right. What's he going to do now? Because this is the alliance president, and the alliance is winning, and they're cleaning up the corruption and saving the mole children that are being trafficked, and mass arrests of all these pedophiles. And now Donald Trump is getting his ass kicked out of the White House, it looks like, so far. How did the alliance president get beaten, David Wilcock?
I just want to hear him come out and just go, I was full of shit.
I made all this shit up.
I just wanted, and then become a Christian preacher. Please forgive me, Lord. I got caught up in the New Age and I lied to all these people, but I'm turning over a new leaf. I want to hear him do that.
Oh, we have a comment from the Twitch chat. Looks like Loose Minge. Glad to see you in the Twitch chat. I appreciate, especially new Twitter users. Please do give us a follow on Twitch. And for those of you who have a Twitch account, please go over to twitch.tv/Truthseekers Show and give us a follow. We really need to increase our Twitch. And Loose Mage says, I have sinned and seek forgiveness. Can I repent to you? Sure. Oh, there's another.
What was the sin?
There's another person that's in the Twitch chat. Swung by the mullet. Great. I like that handle. Says, hi, my man. Good to see you. Glad to see anybody in the Twitch chat. It's been pretty dead over there, guys. So, yeah. Go over and follow us on twitch.tv/Truthseekers Show. And also, I'm putting up the email. I'm putting up my email in a banner here. So if you would like to join us on the show live on webcam, you are most welcome. Just email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com, and I will get the link to you.
Yeah, I started at Twitch just because of your show.
Good. Yeah, that's another thing. Anybody that doesn't have a Twitch account, it only takes a few minutes, right, Jonicide, to sign up for Twitch and give us that follow. That would be great.
And the funny thing is, I was watching you on the big screen TV with my wife, and all of a sudden she's like, all right, I just subbed to him.
Cool. Yeah, thank her too. I appreciate that.
I shall. I'm not sure trying to get my kids to sub to you too, but they do a lot of Twitch stuff. They play video games on Twitch. I don't know. They're all about Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've never like the only time I want to watch somebody play a game is if I'm thinking about buying the game. But I can't believe,
Yeah.
if somebody would have told me a few years ago that there'd be a whole, you know, like entertainment form of just watching people stream themselves playing games, I wouldn't believe it. But here we are. I have friends that play all Call of Duty and different games, and they stream on Twitch. They're making money while they're playing their games, and a few of my friends use that money to just buy more games and stuff, buy more gear. So I guess if you're going to be playing video games for 12 hours anyway, you might as well stream it and make a couple bucks if you can.
Yeah, my son has been, and my foster kid, they've been watching people play video games for so long. I'm like, I just go on and look when I'm stuck or I can't find something. Where's this at? Oh, there it is. Okay. But they'll watch 12 hours straight of a guy playing a video game that they do not have and will not play. Well, I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah, well, sometimes though, like I don't have a new console, and I was interested in that new Spider-Man game. Every time I buy a new console, it's because the old console that I have won't play the newest, greatest Spider-Man game, so I have to buy a new console. So yeah, I watched that for a while, and that looks great. But unfortunately, I'm broke and can't buy the console yet. We'll see. Maybe Santa Claus will bring me one.
There you go. Well, I got to get out. I'm in my car, and I'm just back at the office, so I have to get out and start my.
Okay, well, it's good. It's always good to hear from you.
I get home, I'll send me a link, and I'll try to join.
Okay, great.
Sure.
All right, thanks, Jonicide. All right,
bye-bye.
All right, folks, bear with me. I'm just going to tweet out our live show here so that more people can join us. And that will work. We're waiting on some guests. Oh, by popular demand, Bee Gees. Listen, I am here to make my viewers happy. So whatever you guys want, if you want a Canadian multi-dimensional time traveler to be on the show, we'll do what you want. So 1 second here. Let's see if we can get this going. There we go. There's Jason Quitt.
Hello, long time.
For those that don't know, Jason Quitt is the husband of my emotional support Canadian. Listen, I apologize to you several times already. If you want, I'm going to take that tweet down
wait. Let me explain. I had nothing to do with the embarrassment that you received tonight on CW show. I had nothing to do with that.
No, I think you guys set me up. Come on, man. He's never gone, come on my show. Today was like, come on, Steve, get in here, bro. Come on my show.
He had some meat.
Yeah, for those that don't know, there was a meme, and that was unfair too, because in the context that he presented it, I look like an asshole. Well, I'm an asshole either way, but he made me look like a much bigger asshole because he did the second tweet, which was like a follow-up to the first one, which was kind of funny. This is, and I'm going to explain myself because that's not fair. It's just not fair. So I'm going to share the screen. We'll see the original tweet and the context of it, and then it'll make more sense. So I saw this meme, and it says, "Dear America, emotional support Canadians are on standby. If you have not yet received your emotional support Canadian, one will be assigned to you shortly." And I laughed, and then I said, well, I don't want some random Canadian. I want a really good Canadian. So I choose Jason Quitt's wife. Okay? It was a joke. But later I did say that I was going to claim his wife as my emotional support Canadian. And she would probably throw him out after I moved in. That's when it got to the point of, sometimes my humor is not good. And, yeah, so I didn't mean to piss you off. I didn't. Yeah, it was a joke. It was a joke. And truly, my male friends all bust each other's balls. Like I've got a friend that used to say, like, to my wife, like, when are you leaving this loser and getting with me? He's a loser, but it was a joke, and I knew it was a joke. I almost punched him in the face once. But you're Canadian. You're probably not going to punch me in the face, Jason Quitt. Well, so I can get away with this shit with you.
Monica laughed very hard So
Yeah, see? So she thought it was funny.
and Jonicide has already claimed me.
Really? So you're
As
going to
his-
be Jonicide's emotional support Canadian.
Yes.
That's good. I hope we can all have separate bedrooms, you know? I'll take your wife in one. Jonocide can have you in his. So there you are, folks. He's not really pissed off. His wife laughed, you know, but I don't blame CW Chandler. If I got handed that, I would have ran with it too. Trying to get this internet beef going, right? It's like wrestling.
It's always my mistake. You know, I say hello in the live chat to people, and suddenly it's getting called out.
Yeah, Jason, why are you defending the honor of your wife? How dare you let Stephen Cambion say that on Twitter?
Right.
I really am an asshole, though.
And
my mouth is going to get me shot someday. Going to get me shot someday.
Yeah, you're already in the cabin. You're already.
Yeah, I'm pretty safe here.
Untraceable.
Yeah, it's crazy today because it was like 70 outside today, which is crazy for this time of the year at the cabin. So, but now it's like 35, 40 outside. And I hate that because it's really hard to tamp down this wood stove. Like it's either full blast or like, you know. So,
does it have, my wife is coming in. It's a video, Monica. Do you want to say hello to Steven?
Hi.
There's my Canadian support wife.
Oh, she can't hear you. She can't hear you.
Oh, no, I can't.
My emotional support Canadian is here.
He says that you're his emotional support Canadian and you're here finally. I don't know if he can see you.
Thumbs up, bro.
I can see her. Tell her I like bubble baths and champagne. I'm very stressed. I'm very stressed, and I like bubble baths and champagne. Just let her know that.
What?
He says that he enjoys bubble baths and champagne. That's what he wants for emotional support.
Oh my god, me too.
Maybe a back rub, you know. Depends on what Jason Quitt's going to let me get away with, you know.
I'm gonna add some pizza into my bubble bath.
I could do that. Wood stove pizza. I'm great at that. You got a wood stove? We'll make wood stove pizza.
We don't have a wood stove. I'm going to see if I can get this so she can. Oh, never mind. She can't hear it.
She doesn't. She doesn't want to be on my show.
It's just in the headphones.
What?
Oh.
What?
I think we lost Steven. Did we lose Steven? Is it just me?
Did he have a heart attack?
Did he have a heart attack? Is he gone? Did we lose Steven, the host of the show? Say it in the chat, please.
No, sorry. I don't know what happened. I just got bumped out of my own show.
Yeah, because you were talking crap to my wife, and you know.
That's probably why. That's probably why. And I wasn't kidding. I think it's just I have deep-rooted subconscious psychological issues where I want to take over Jason Quitt's life. He's got all these amazing synthesizers that I can't buy in this music studio. Can you tell us, what was it that you were just doing? Are you allowed to tell us now? Every time Jason Quitt comes on my show, he's like a secret agent. He's like, well, I'm working on this secret project and I can't really talk about it, but it's really big and, you know, but it's secret.
It's not that secret, really. I was working on helping to produce a folk singer in the UK. And we released her first album, I think it was the 1st of July. And then right now we're working on her second album. So in July...
She must have liked you if you got the second album gig, right?
There you go.
Either that or she's got too much money and she's stupid. But
so because
Jason, why don't you help me? Why don't you help me out and produce some of my songs? I keep busting Jason Quitt's balls. For those that don't know, he put a bunch of music up, and I went through it, and I went, wow, this is something that I would like almost write. A few of the songs that he had. You know, some of the stuff has got a similar style that I like gurgling synthesizers and arpeggiated synths and stuff. And so I sang over one, and then I was going to sing over more, and actually I have. But now I'm busting Jason Quitt's balls to steal more of his music that I could just slap my name on. That's my plan, Jason Quitt.
Well, I haven't touched my synthesizers in many months because I've been, focusing on this. But the really cool thing about this was for this artist, we rented Abbey Road Studios.
Yeah, I heard that. And that's another reason why I was jealous. Jason Quitt's working in Abbey Road Studios. I want your whole life, man. I'm just gonna murder you and get plastic surgery to look like you. I think that's my new plan. If this emotional support Canadian thing doesn't work out, I've got a backup plan.
Yeah, that was like an old Weird Al joke. He said,
So I don't know where Spooky is. Spooky, I sent you Spooky was going to join as well. I sent you the link in the live chat or in the Twitter DM. Maybe she conked out.
Well, isn't it like extremely late where she is?
Yeah, maybe you're right. It's only 10:30 here. I don't know what time it is in England right now. Probably.
And I don't even know the topic of why I came here tonight. Just popped in to say hello.
We were just talking. I figured as somebody asked if I was going live with you because that would be funny, and there you go. It wasn't that funny, but you did your best, Jason.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my goal for tonight was to talk about the election as little as possible. I got a chance today to deprogram myself and sort of decompress, and suddenly I realized, like, really, how is it in Canada? Listen, does whoever the Prime Minister of Canada really change your life at all?
No.
Yeah, same here. Like, I still got to get up in the morning. I got to go to work, take care of my family, do my chores, do the things I need to do. It doesn't really, so here, like, sometimes the taxes will go up or down depending on who's in charge. But that's it, So maybe I'm going to pay a little more in the next 4 years than I did these past 4 years. Maybe I'll pay a little less. Who knows? But other than that, nothing's going to change.
See, I would actually love to have a permanent residence in the States because the taxes in the States are nothing compared to what we're paying in Canada, especially Ontario. We have HST. I don't know if you've heard of that one. Harmonized sales tax. We pay 13% on any item we buy. Any item, we pay 13%. And then, what is it? Income tax is ridiculous.
Yeah, we have some states here where there's zero sales tax, and people go there to buy a car or some big ticket item because it's worth the drive. Like I'm in Pennsylvania, and Delaware's right next door. It's a tax-free state, so a lot of people, if you're going to buy a car or a big ticket item, you drive over and buy it there.
It hurts. It really hurts.
Yeah. Well, you guys pay a lot higher income tax, but you have free medical though, so I guess you got to take that into account.
Actually,
right?
You know what? We pay the medical. We have the health card, and I know a lot of people despise socialized medicine, but it's almost my 3-year anniversary. It was November 14th that I broke my back 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And went right into the hospital. They did surgery. I have 10 screws and 2 rods down my back just so I could live. Right.
Yeah, I told you before, that's got to be fun at airports, right? Do you have to take your medical paperwork with you? No, really. There's metal rods in my back. I don't have any guns, right?
Titanium, so it doesn't set off the. It doesn't set off, but when if that happened to me in the United States, and if I didn't have insurance, that probably would have been. What the heck is that picture?
Oh, that's Mario. He stole his avatar from one of my shows where we were covering David Wilcock's live stream, and I just happened to pause right when David Wilcock made that face, and so a bunch of people captured it, and I'm going to be using it for some David Wilcock box of dildo stuff too. So far, he hasn't found a single dildo. Jason Quitt, not one.
Oh, that's very sad. He looks like an Austin Powers villain.
Yeah, he's like rubbing his hands together and everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Jonicide asked, how is your back now, I suppose, Jason?
It's pretty much 100%, but if I'm standing too long and doing too much stuff on my feet, I literally have to lay down on the ground flat for like 10 minutes to just
straighten out all the metal.
Yeah, it's not fun.
That sucks. And you're a Canadian, so you can't chop wood even, right? That would be bad on your back, wouldn't it?
I haven't tried that yet, and that would probably be very bad for me.
You can't be a Canadian unless you chop wood, Jason Quitt. You gotta have a big axe, and you gotta have that lumberjack shirt,
Well, it was either that
flannel
or tapping maple trees. So now I just tap maple trees as a job.
You chop maple trees as a job, really?
Tap.
Oh,
Use
tap.
maple-
Oh,
for
you're
maple
making that
syrup.
fake maple syrup. There's no such thing, folks, as Canadian maple syrup. It's bullshit. They take Chinese fake maple syrup and they put it in a Canadian bottle and charge you $50 for it.
Oh, you're in for a shock if you ever come here.
I'm not a fan of maple syrup either way. My wife makes fun of me because I use like strawberry syrup on my pancakes. Maple, not so much. Jonicide said that David Wilcock found the dildos, but he enjoys them so much he doesn't want anybody to know. He'd rather have the dildos than the prize money. To get the prize money, Jason Quitt, he has to turn the dildos in. And the strap-on for his wife.
Whose
and the anal
idea
lube.
was this? Whose idea was this? Because this is the absolute first time I'm hearing about this, and it's kind of embarrassing to hear about this on your show. So tell me
Okay,
what
so
the hell's going on
oh
here?
well, I just decided that in the grand tradition of challenges, like David Wilcock says that he has all these superpowers, like he's psychic and he's Edgar Casey reincarnated and all these different things. So, and he has government insiders and his friends all talk to super advanced alien beings and are in the secret space program, and he's got government insiders. So I thought, let's test him on those superpowers that he says he has and psychic powers. And I came up with this challenge where I would bury a huge box of dildos somewhere in a secret location, somewhere in the United States. And if he found the box of dildos with his psychic powers and his government insiders and his friends that talk to aliens, then I would give him $10,000. And so far, he hasn't found a single dildo. And then some of my viewers have buried dildos. We're up to 14 countries where there's buried dildos for David Wilcock. And if he finds those, then I'm giving $10 per found dildo to his favorite charity.
I think he's playing you. I think he's totally playing you.
He hasn't found a single dildo yet.
No. In like a couple of years from now, you're going to go and dig it up to see if you found it, and you're going to open it up. And
yeah, maybe I'll have a note from him like, fuck you, Steve Cambion, right?
He'll just say, thank you very much.
But Jason Quitt, I'm a very generous guy, so I didn't just give him dildos in the prize box. I gave him a strap-on for his wife and anal lube, too. And the good stuff. Like, I bought him the best anal lube money can buy, Jason Quitt.
So you're a saint, is what you're telling me.
I think so. I think that's very generous of me.
Oh, my God. Well...
And are you still smoking that? What is it called? Chinook? The tribal...
Knick. Yeah, so tribal. I don't know what it is about your show. I enjoy smoking the pipe when I'm on your show because you're smoking, and I'm like,
yeah. Well, you know what's funny is I really have to quit smoking, and I've been vaping, but I can't stand the vaping stuff. Like, it's just not the same thing. So,
well, I grew my my own stuff this year. It was the first time I ever did that.
Yeah, and it's looking good for Jason Quitt. He's got the goods. That's another reason why I'm coming to your house to move in. I'll at least stay until that's gone, Jason Quitt. Like, we'll see how fast we could smoke it all.
Yeah, no, this stuff is gonna probably last me 2 lifetimes, so I think I need some help.
I would help you. I would help you. What are friends for, right?
Exactly, and I'm that type of person. I would share. Did I test it first?
Yes.
Test what?
Did you test it out first? I guess whatever you're growing.
Oh no, I just like smelling it. You know.
Michael says he got some maple syrup from a farm in Vermont when I was out there, and it was pretty damn good. So there you go. Some people appreciate maple syrup.
Vermont
Jason
is
Quitt.
amazing for maple syrup.
Just not me. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also gave David Wilcock a ball gag too in the box. There's a whole bunch of dildos. There's a ball gag, a strap-on for his wife, and high quality, high cost, the good stuff, anal lube. I didn't want to give him a huge box of dildos without giving him some anal lube to help a brother out, right? I thought that would be rude. You're Canadian, right? I'm American, but, we don't want to be rude either.
Is there a bottom to this conversation?
I don't know. You know what I was thinking, though, when we were on CW show, I was like, man, I hope Jason Quitt really isn't pissed off because, like, I don't want to have to explain to people why a Canadian guy beat me up. Because it takes a lot to piss off a Canadian. You guys are so polite, right? Like, what's a Canadian fight like? Like, hey, don't do that, eh? And the other guy goes, yeah, I'm sorry. That was rude of me, eh? Right?
You ever see a hockey game?
Oh, yeah. You guys are tough with hockey, though. You fight
We
with
grow
hockey.
We grow up with hockey, and that's
But
just like
But
life
that's kind
here.
of to be expected that you fight in a hockey game, though, right?
Yeah. Even as a kid, you just,
Yeah,
someone-
we used to play street hockey, and I swore that half the reason that we played street hockey was just to beat each other up. It was an excuse to, like, give that guy you don't really like a good check and hurt him, which is a little sadistic. But, the street hockey, like car, and then you got to move the net.
rollerblades, inline skates.
Yeah,
Can,
yeah. Well, we
can-
would play just in sneakers sometimes because we were poor. We didn't have skates. We just had a hockey stick and these half-ass like hockey nets. And then, how we decided who the goalie was? The goalies were the rich kids whose parents would buy them hockey pads and goalie pads because those were the most expensive. So you were pretty popular if you could be a goalie in our neighborhood.
No, we just put I don't even know what we put, just 2 pieces of garbage.
Yeah. Get the ball between here. Sometimes we played with a ball and sometimes we played with a puck, even though we were just on the street.
I'd hate yeah. You don't play with a puck. Oh man, you'll get your teeth knocked out.
Well, in other news, Victor Sarge just got an ad for painful sex. I guess if you have some good lube, then it's not so painful, right? Oh yeah, hockey or pro wrestling? Yes.
Actually, I just saw a really funny wrestling video describing the election. It was quite funny.
Yeah, I'm. If nothing else, this election is fun for the memes. I saw somebody they're doing a thing now where Donald Trump is bending the knee to Joe Biden, and they put both their heads on it.
I don't know.
My favorite meme today was, anyone who thinks there will be a peaceful transition of power has never tried to drag a child out of Chuck E. Cheese. Because I have, and they get pissed off when it's time to leave Chuck E. Cheese, bro.
Chuck E. Cheese is closed because of COVID forever, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know about forever. I think they may come back.
They did claim
still up in the air. Bankruptcy. Yeah, and that's a shame because that's part of my that was a part of my childhood. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese to eat terrible pizza and play video games for so-and-so's birthday.
This is my favorite election picture.
Yeah, I'd like to see that in real life, right?
So they actually they decided to be co-presidents. I think that's the word is now politically correct, is co-presidents. They kissed and made up.
Yeah, I was wondering, what could that ever happen? But I guess I don't think so. Spooky says she's on the phone and she'll be there soon. Okay, that makes sense.
I think politics is actually a lot like pro wrestling, where they're actually behind the scenes best friends, and in the public, it's like, okay, you're on that side. And
yeah, what was funny is George H.W. Bush and the Obamas were really close friends, and that doesn't really make sense, but they really are they're buddies. And George Bush loves Obama's wife, kind of like me liking a certain Canadian guy's wife, Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Once you're a president, you join the president's club.
Yeah, it's a pretty small club, right?
So in a couple of years, you're going to have Trump standing next to Bush and Clinton, and everybody's going to be hunky-dory. He's not going to stand there and not eat a pastrami sandwich in front of them. He's going to enjoy and get mustard on his tie.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's such a small club that they gotta, and only those other guys can understand what you went through doing that job. That's got to be. I don't understand why anybody wants to do that. That's got to be the shittiest job ever. You got to bomb people constantly.
It's actually when you really think about it, who would actually want to be president?
I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want that job. It's just too much. I can't run my own life. How am I going to run the lives of a billion people?
And he ran the presidency through Twitter.
He really did. The one thing though that I will say about him, it should have been predicted that he would lose because he went up against a huge underdog last time. He beat all these Republicans that were seasoned politicians and Jeb Bush and all of these people that have been doing politics for 20 years. He beat all them. Then he beat the Clinton family, basically, which is a huge political powerhouse, and he beat the media and he won the presidency. So it was really statistically improbable that he was going to do that again, especially after all the shit show the last 4 years has been. But
I think that back then the Republican Party really didn't have a strong candidate to go up against Hillary, and they really needed a person that's not in politics, I think, to be a strong contender. And because people were just sick and tired of politics before Trump came in. And I think now, after 4 years of Trump, people are just sick and tired of Trump, who's not really a politician.
Yeah, I will say though, he's entertaining as hell, and it's kind of fun to watch. It's kind of fun to watch him and see, like, every time I think, like, man, what the fuck can he do next? This has got to be the worst, stupidest thing he's ever said, or then he tops himself. He tops himself.
Rage tweeting about Nancy Pelosi at like 3 a.m. and waking up at like 6 a.m. and rage tweeting again about it.
I know, yeah.
If you're like a leader, let's say you're the leader of some other country, let's say like Iran, and you wake up and say, okay, what's Donald Trump doing today? He goes to Twitter. He's going to be like, oh, he's having a fit.
Yeah. Yeah. And what really gets me is, like, he's got children and he's got really smart advisors. And I've read that, like, all of them were like, you got to put your fucking phone down. You can't keep doing this. And he just like, no, I'm talking directly to the American people. Forget the media. I'm going to communicate directly to the American people through Twitter and, spout all this venom and hatred and shit. You're right. 3 o'clock in the morning. You would think the president should be getting some rest so he could get something done for the American people the next day. Nope. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Fuck Nancy Pelosi or fuck Chuck Schumer or like whatever. So what do you think he's going to do if he loses? What is he going to do next? I think he's going to wait 4 years and try this shit again. I truly do. If he loses, I think he's going to spend the next 4 years trying to get back at Biden. He is notoriously, he holds grudges like a motherfucker.
His office is going to move from the White House right to Mar-a-Lago in Florida.
Yeah.
And the digital army is going to be now based from there.
Somebody said Trump TV. He was planning something called Trump TV, and this might give him a perfect out to do that. It'll be like a Fox News, but all the time cable news channel.
Well, for the next 4 years, his plan is going to be choosing between golf, shrimp buffets, colonics, and swimming, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. If I had a supermodel hot wife and all the money in the world, I think the last thing I would want to do is run for president. But I think after you've won and got so much money, the only thing left is like, well, let me give myself a whole bunch of power. That's what it is for a lot of these rich guys, the rich old white guys that run our whole entire government.
I really think he set the stage for Ivanka to make a president run in maybe 8 years.
Yeah, could be. I think if he definitely lost, I think he's going to at least try to run another term. And if he did, that would be the first president in history, I think, to lose a re-election and then get one more term at 4 years later, which would be interesting. But either that, or I think he's just going to fade away and try to band-aid his ego, because a narcissist like that, this has got to be a huge blow to his ego. And it's going to.
He will not concede. He will fight it all the way to January, and that's actually pretty sad. To put the American public through that mess for another couple months.
GS Crippler says most Trump fans don't like Ivanka. I haven't heard that. I thought that she was pretty well liked.
Yeah, same. I didn't know that.
But I hate to say this, but I have very little respect for his children because, of the wealth and prosperity they were born into, and daddy gave me my job, their whole careers, everything that they have, their daddy just gave it to them. I don't think that makes for a good person. Like, you got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet and find your own way in life. And when your parents have that much money and they can just give you a career, give you a job, give you an office, I don't think that Ivanka would be a very good president because she hasn't earned anything in her life.
Well, it's kind of like the show The Apprentice. It's like he would had them standing like mannequins behind him, and it was the
Using
same
his
thing
own
with
children
presidents.
for props.
Yeah. Same thing. He took them everywhere. This president.
Yeah. Oh, Jonicide says, and as president, I'm invading Mars. Get them before they get us. Good idea. We don't want Mars to attack. We want to be preemptive. Jonicide says he will attack Mars first. He's going to start an international, not interplanetary war. Past tense liked. Okay. So Jason, I don't want to keep you. So if you have other stuff to do, yeah.
I just wanted to come in and say hello.
And listen, just really, in all seriousness, just so everybody understands, your wife laughed at that drama, the tweet, the joke that I made, and I don't think you laughed, but you're not mad at me, right? You understand it was a bad attempt at humor, and like I've apologized. I hope we're good. We're good, right?
We're good, Steven.
I don't want to get killed by some guy coming to drown me in maple syrup.
Just keep me out of your challenges. And
yeah, I will definitely do that. I guess I owe you one because I was an asshole and said, an attempt to make a joke, something that was insensitive. So you have my word. I won't challenge you to find any dildos or anything else. Even though Jason Quitt, you are an interdimensional time traveler, so.
Oh, definitely.
How do you know that I haven't already buried a time capsule in 1922 for you to go dig up and find?
Wait, that means you're a time traveler.
Anything is possible.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take care, guys.
Why do you think I'm so good at building cabins, bro? All right. Thanks, Jason. We appreciate you being here.
All right. Bye.
All right. So there we have it, friends. Right from Jason Quitt. Just listen, people could try to start internet beefs and all this shit, but at the end of the day, we're friends, and he knew that I was just busting his balls. He didn't take offense, neither did his wife. Thank God. But I guess I should be more careful in how I attempt to make a joke because, people could be pissed off and come and shoot me, and that would be unfortunate. So I suppose we're waiting for any other people who would like to join in the show. I'm going to check my Twitter right now. You don't see any additional requests for anybody to join in the show. Let me put that bumper back up. If anybody would like to, it's already there. If anybody would like to join in the show, you can email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com and join me here live at the Apocalypse Cabin. And also, somebody asked, is your iMac missing the glass? And yes, it is, because my children knocked that thing over and busted the glass front, and that's like $150 part, and I just haven't cared enough to replace it yet. But it bothers me, so I'm going to eventually. So what we're going to do too is I'm going to open the phone lines. We're going to play our bumper to open the phone lines. It's open forum, open phone lines, open show. You can come right on here and join the show. Jonicide is heading home in a minute. Jonicide, make sure you, I think he wanted to join in. Make sure you send me a message on Twitter or let me see if I can find your email and then I can get you the show link. I see Pragmatics. Oh, Joe Prisco. I have everybody but Jonicide here. Yeah, Jonicide, I'm not sure. So I have BG's email here. I don't see Jonicide's. Yeah, I don't know your email address offhand, Jonicide. So, oh, there he is, Jonicide. I can send it to you. I can send you the link through the Twitter DM, and you can come in through that. Let me get you the link. Just give me 1 second. I just got your message there. I sent you the link to join the show into Twitter DM just now. You are most welcome, Jonicide. Anybody else, if you have any comments or questions, but I said we weren't going to talk about election stuff, and then we talked about Trump and elections. Well, actually, we just talked more generally about Trump and what may happen next. Not so much about the election, but any comments or questions for me, put them in all caps in the live chat. We're having an open forum. We're having an open forum tonight, so any topic is good. Okay. And I guess I have a question for the live chat. Has your life really changed that much when a new president took office? Has there been one president that really helped you or your family? I would have to say the one exception I have to nothing's going to change, my life won't get better or worse, would have to be Obama. And here's why. Just good timing. When Barack Obama got in office, I had just gotten married. And Barack Obama started this program for first-time home buyers where they would give you, I don't remember if it was $8,000 or 12, I think it was $8,000 towards purchasing your home. And I don't remember the details of what the qualifications were, but I got $8,000 just handed to me from Barack Obama. So in that way, he did affect my life. $8,000 is no joke, especially when you're young and just got married and are trying to purchase a home for you and your wife. So we were fortunate in that we were both saving up for the home, for, the down payment and this and that. But what happened is that we put all the money that we had really into the down payment to get them, and then get a mortgage for the rest. So we were able to purchase the home, but then we were going to be really broke for a long time. And then we got the $8,000 from Barack Obama for being first-time home buyers. And yeah, that's the American dream. And Barack Obama, to his credit, wanted to help people achieve that American dream, own your own home. Well, it's part of the American dream. So we were able to take that $8,000 and furnish the entire home, buy whatever it is that we needed, which was great. Actually, we bought the home before we got married, about a year, maybe 2 years before we got married. And we just lived together until we got married. But it was great because having that money really did change our lives. We didn't, I remember when my wife told me, she said, we don't have to worry about buying furniture or whatever we need because we're getting this check. And I was like, great. And that, in that case, a president did something really, really that did change my life, because failing having that $8,000, we probably would have been sitting on lawn furniture for a while, because my wife and I, neither of us like taking loans. We would rather just wait until, okay, now we have cash, we'll buy a couch. Now we have cash, we'll buy a TV, whatever. So my house would have been empty for a while or it would have had much shittier stuff, like, so-and-so's got a free couch we can have. Somebody's got a kitchen table we can have. It would have been like a lot of used and not the best furniture and whatever. Because we had the $8,000, we were able to buy brand new furniture and all the stuff. When you get a new house, sure, my wife and I both had stuff we could bring with us, but my furniture was shitty man furniture, and she didn't want it in our house. Like, that's just reality. She's like, you're not bringing any of this shit to our new house, are you? But she meant, you're not bringing any of this shit to our new house. That's what she meant. And yeah, I got an education in marriage too, because it was so funny. Like, I didn't understand, but my wife moved in with me, and then she started throwing out my old clothes and buying me like new nice clothes. And I was like, at first I was like, wait a minute, I really like these old ragged t-shirts that I have that are falling apart. But eventually you figure out like that's just what women do. And then she said, like, you're not going to walk around looking like a homeless man if you're with me. You got to have a decent shirt on or whatever, you know. And to this day, as she's made, I'm very fortunate because I have not shopped in a store like almost ever for the whole time I've been with this woman. Occasionally I have to go and buy, but mostly, you know, man's like I'll go to Home Depot. I won't go to Target and buy shirts or pants or anything else that I need. My wife very takes care of me very well, which is great. And yeah, somebody recently was asking me like, what is the key to doing really well in life? And I think that one thing that a lot of people ignore and don't do well with is the choice of husband or wife or, you know, spouse. And to also stay married. All my friends are divorced. Some of my friends are on their third wives. I have one friend that I think has had he just got married to his fourth wife, and he's my age. And to me, that's crazy because every time you do that, you got to sort of split things and start over. So if you ask me, one of the things that I would say, if you want to have an abundant and great life, pick the right one. First of all, pick the right spouse. Take your time dating, right? And narrowing things down. Find out what is it you want in life and get a good spouse. Then you'll have less likelihood of getting divorced and having issues. And also I'd say live with them first, because some people that I know got like shell shocked when they moved in with their girlfriend or boyfriend, because that's living together and dating is two totally different things. Yeah, you got to stay married. It's fine. Any divorce is a financial disaster. So if you can avoid that financial disaster and stay married, you're going to do better long term in life. Vanessa, see, I'm right though, Vanessa, right? Like, women are going to do this. She says, I finally tossed out my man's old ratty plaid cargo shorts that he tries to wear all year round with Hawaiian shirts. Holy shit, he's got worse taste in fashion than me, Vanessa Thor. Michael says, our education system sucks. Look at Kentucky, fifth poorest state in the nation, and they reelected Moscow Mitch. Keep him stupid and on welfare. Yeah. Yeah. J.S. Crippler says, Trump shut down travel from infected countries against advisors' advice. Yes, and he loves to remind us about how he did that and saved all these lives and people didn't want him to. Takes a victory lap on that pretty much every chance he get. Mario Heath says, and so because some are doing better financially, is that good enough to say it's better regardless of the many bigots, sexists, homophobes that found a voice with Trump? Yeah, I was doing very well financially, I think, until COVID hit. And then, I had two things that I did for money. The first was fixing computers, and it was in-home service. And that's kind of what I was known for. In other words, if your laptop's broke, you don't have to take it to the geek guys at Best Buy and wait a week or whatever. You just call me. I come to your home, and if I can fix it on site in an hour or two, I do it right there and give it back to you, giving you an invoice. Or I pick it up if it's going to be a really long project, take it home and bring it back to you. But anyway, because of COVID, nobody wants you in their house anymore. And you can ask anybody that works anybody that works in any situation where you go in people's houses to work, like a painter or carpenter or whatever, people that refinish kitchens or redo bathrooms, tile. Work has slowed to a crawl because people are so cautious that they don't want a stranger in their house that could infect them and their family. So that source of my income went to shit. And the other thing that I did was I drove Uber a lot, and I really liked doing it. But my wife really was dead set against me doing that because you never know who's going to get in your car and sneeze on your back, and now you've got COVID. And plus, there's all these crazy things that you got to deal with now because of COVID, being a driver, you know. And my car died. My Uber car died. I had this old, well, it wasn't that old actually. It was a 2006, a 2006. Oh, what is the cop car? Christ, now I'm blanking on it. Ford Crown Vic, a 2006 Ford Crown Vic. That was, it ran great, but it was a piece of shit. The interior was nice, but the outside of the car was so shitty. It's funny. I had spray paint. I would like spray paint it and shit just because the paint was peeling off in spots, and it used to be a taxi. And then in another spot, the paint was peeling off, and you could see like a police logo because it was a police car. Then it was a taxi. And they, so I'm like, spray, you can't have that if you're an Uber driver. You can't have like, you know, the taxi logo or the police logo. So I'm like spray painting it with like paint from Home Depot, just like can spray paint, you know, rattle cans. And I used to like driving in the dark and when it was raining, because when it was raining, you couldn't really see how shitty the car looked. And so many people used to get in my car and go, they let you Uber in this thing? How old is this car? Because it looked a lot older, but they haven't changed those Crown Vics since like 1985. So it was really a car from 1985, but it was made in 2006. So somehow they let me Uber with it. What a shitty car. The car finally died. And then I had to get a new car. And right when I got my new car and got it all hooked up, and I was really happy because I had a really nice, only couple-year-old car, a Mazda 5, COVID hit. And I was like, not gonna start driving strangers around in my car until I see what this is about. But again, I'm off in the woods, off in the weeds. My point is that I was doing pretty well financially, and then COVID hit, and it seems like any sources of income that I had are not really possible or have slowed down to a trickle right now. But it is what it is. I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation. So I'm like, well, I will use this time to get some things done at the cabin, or I'll use this time to fix up some things around the house. I'm fortunate that my wife puts up with my lack of financial resources. She does very well. We work together. So, and by the way, that reminds me, I really have to, I got to get some of this stuff done at this cabin, because then there's things my wife wants done at the house, and I really got to get to it. She really deserves it. Like, she's been pretty patient with me. I have a little bit more painting to do at the house, and just I got to build some shelves and some other stuff. And but you know, I have to have time to do that. She's been very patient, letting me work on the cabin, waiting for me to get to the things at our main house. But honestly, our old house was such a shitty house that like shit was always breaking constantly. So the new house, everything works. This is the first time we've had a house where like everything works. So to me, the difference between my old house and this new house is like, it's just cosmetic stuff that she wants. Everything works. It's not like the toilet overflows every 10th time you flush it or whatever, or leaking pipes. We had so many problems with our old house. I was always going to Home Depot. It was like once a week, there was some huge project, like replace a whole section of pipe in the basement, or the heater died once. The hot water heater died twice. I think the hot water heater was like under warranty. Like one died, we replaced it, but then that one died too, but it was under warranty. So that old house was a nightmare. We called it the Hell House. We really called it the Hell House. So, friends, just a reminder, if you do want to come on the show, anybody is welcome. I think Spooky may still be coming on, or we may wrap things up. But you can email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com if you would like a link to join the show. You just need a webcam or a microphone, or both, ideally. And yeah, you are most welcome. So, trying to I'm just checking in on all the messages here to make sure that we haven't missed any requests to join the show. I'm going to, I suppose, play the open lines bumper, but first I can just put the number up on the screen. If you would like to call in, you are most welcome to call in as well. We have open phone lines. And this is the phone number. If you do get a busy signal or voicemail, that just means somebody else is on the line, and to try back shortly, and maybe you'll get through. Sometimes it seems to me that it seems like 10 people call all at the same moment, and then I get the 10 voicemails later. One time I looked and I saw 27 voicemails. What the hell? Who the hell called me? And it turned out to be all people the night before that were trying to get in, trying to call into the show. But failing any incoming calls, everybody is very welcome to call in. Failing anybody calling in or wanting to take part in the show, I'll just turn my attention to the live chat. Let's see. Blind Dave Crypto, 44, never married, no kids. They all got weird when living together. I think there's something in the water here. Mario He, are you begging us to come wreak havoc again? Yes, I'd like to talk to my Canadian Mexican friend. Yeah, why do people call their wives my old lady? What if she's young? Yeah, I don't know. I have bikers in my family. My uncles were into pagans, and that's very common among bikers, the term old lady, even if she's 20. She's still my old lady. And the women say my old man, which is strange, right? Charles Unleashed wants to know, where is Drunk Irish Guy? Hey, have some respect. It's the Truthseekers Drunk Irish Correspondent. That's who it is. I want Tiff to take part this time. She won't speak on politics. Well, I can message you. Oh, let me hope I can get into Facebook over here, Michael. Isn't it terrible that if you lose your saved passwords, you have no idea how to get into your accounts? Because I have tried. I have this other computer here that I never logged into Facebook, and I can't for the life of me remember the password, and I don't want to reset it, so I have to wait until I check what the password actually is, in saved passwords. But isn't it terrible how when you go to a new device, you're like, shit, what the fuck is my Twitter password? Shit, what is my Facebook password? And I don't know about everybody else. I don't use the same password for everything. All right, I'm looking for Michael here. I think I got you, Michael. We'll see. I think I got the invite. Yes, I sent you the invite there, Michael. Yeah, so your lady is most welcome here. Your old lady? Or just your lady, right? People are talking about that. Okay, we went through where is Drunk Irish Guy. We explained that. And to his credit, by the way, Ryan Morphy Richards has apologized to me, and I say, no apology necessary. I've been shit-faced drunk and not at my best. And that was his issue. He was drinking whiskey, I believe. Being Irish, that's what you do at night. If you're Irish, you drink whiskey. And he had a few too many shots of whiskey before the stream started. So by the time he got into the stream with us, and he also said that was the first time he's ever streamed or been on a stream, so he wasn't aware of, the etiquette of don't talk, wait your turn to talk or whatever. Out of Mind says, I write passwords down, but I am old. Remember how to use paper and pen or pencil. Yeah, I should probably do that. Yeah. But I'm a little, I don't know. I'm a little crazy about security, so I don't want to. I used to have a boss who wrote his password on a piece of paper, and it was always in his top desk drawer. And I was like, this guy's an idiot, because anybody can get that. But I mean, that's work stuff. I guess I could care less. I guess if somebody gets into my Facebook or Twitter, I could care less. That's not really that's not really an issue. But I still have different passwords for every site, every single site. Brad Gray says, funny that how women are weird about knowing their age. I mean, do they think we can't see their age? Yeah, I don't know. Some women, I would say some women are weird about that. But friends, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break, and I'm going to play the call-in bumper, and maybe that would, that may help. So we're live here at the Apocalypse Cabin. We have open phone lines, open forum. We have a few guests that will be joining us shortly, I believe. Until then, we're going to have open phone lines. So you too, you can call in. We can talk about anything you like. Tonight is open forum, open topic, and open phone lines. Let's open the phone lines, friends. Let's get into it. And we are back, friends. So open phone lines, open forum, open topics. I will turn my total attention to the live chat. Okay, Philip Blair says, I recently made a new email address, but can't get in because I had my password on my phone clipboard, but didn't have it locked and copied other thing. Oops, I'll try again. Out of mind. Jeanette Krasenko says, my grandmother said you never ask a lady her age. Yeah, I was taught that too. I was taught that. I can't remember who taught that to me. I think it was my mother. Said don't ever ask, because I was a kid and I asked some, like my aunt how old she was. My mom, like, you never ask a lady her age. That's a thing, right? But I don't know. I think, like, I probably know just as many men that are sensitive about their age, especially men in the entertainment business, because it seems like, I don't know, what do they don't want, like, young people to know that they're 40, or whatever. Yeah. I know many men that would either lie about their age or, take 5 years off or whatever. And that's crazy to me. I am proud to stay out of mine. Shout out to Out of Mine says, I am proud to still be here. So age does not matter. Never did since I got to legal age and could throw away my fake IDs. Yeah, me too. I had a fake ID and I remember throwing it away when I turned 21. Yeah, here in Pennsylvania, they used to have these places you could go to and you could get like a college ID from Wisconsin that said you were 21. And because the bartender's never seen that before, they just went, are you really from Wisconsin? And I went, yeah. And they let me drink. And I was, in bars at 17, basically. Some bars would turn you away. They would know, like, this isn't real or whatever. And then in my state, they started a scanning system. So you had to have a state-issued ID to get into a bar. But by then, I think I was 21, so it didn't matter. Oh. Philip Blair says, the lines on your face tell the story of your life. Many muscles corresponding to different emotions. The emotions you feel more often will be etched in those lines. Wow. Yeah, I'm getting some in my forehead, Philip Blair. Maybe I have to Botox that shit out, right? No, I don't care. I also have a few male friends in the entertainment business who have gotten work done. I have one friend in particular that got a lot of work done, and it doesn't look good. I don't know. I think I don't think that I would ever get any cosmetic surgery ever. With the possible exception is if I was scarred or maimed somehow and they needed to do cosmetic surgery to put me back to the way I was. Yeah. I have a scar on my face that's from a terrible dog bite that I had as a child. Like I had a dog bite me in the face and maul me. And I could have gotten that scar sort of. There's things that they can do to minimize the scar tissue and make it less noticeable and this and that, but I never chose to do that. I think the older I get, the least noticeable it is. When I was younger, it was a lot more noticeable. Okay. Let me just check in here, friends. See why I'm ring-a-dinging here. That was my wife. She said, she must be watching. Hi, honey. She never watches my show. She must be really fucking bored. I got what the fuck line between my brows after marrying you. Just saying. Yeah, because she's always looking at me and putting her eyebrows up and going, what the fuck, Steve? Yeah. She got a what the fuck between her brows line. My wife is incredibly, she doesn't like it when I say it, but she looks exactly the same today as the day that I married her, with the possible exception that she says that her stomach is now squishy. When we had our first child, everything popped right back. But the second one, I think she was bigger pregnant. I don't know how you say it. She was much bigger pregnant, I think, with our second child. And then, she weighs the same, but all that extra, your skin gets all stretched out. Now she says that her tummy is squishy. Okay, let me see here. We'll go to the live chat. Bunya says, oh yeah, I see my father in reflection sometimes and think, oh fuck. Yeah, me too. The older I get, I think I looked more like my mother when I was younger, but the older I get, the more I look like my father. Oh, and Jonicide, I was just about to bring you in. I don't know what happened. Jonicide popped into the green room here and then popped out. Maybe he's having a tech issue. Michael says, I never had a fake ID. A female friend worked for Sports Harbor in Venice, California, and I could drink at will at 17. Yeah, it's always good to know a bartender. And there we have Jonicide. Hello, Jonicide.
Hello, finally home.
Jonicide, remind me, where are you at in the world?
I am in Western Washington.
Washington State?
Yep.
What is the weather like there now? Is it cold?
It is cold, but it was a clear night. It was really pretty. I got to see all the stars out tonight.
Yeah, me too. I'm up in the mountains here, so I always try to take the time to go outside and look up. at night here. It's beautiful.
I'm trying to get my phone situated. There we go.
I think I hear a woman laughing.
Yeah, my daughter's in the room. My wife's in the room.
Oh, I was going to say, are you just hiding random women laughing in your room? But these are women you know, so it's okay.
You just got to hide them. Where's something funny? I drove taxi for 10 years.
Did you? What was that like?
Crazy. 2000 to 2010. When I started, money. When I quit, no money.
Yeah. I really liked driving Uber, but I had some crazy adventures in Philadelphia. Like one time, some guy was smoking crack in my back seat, and I had to go. I look in the rearview mirror, and I'm like, "That's not a pot pipe. He's smoking crack," and the whole car started smelling like chemicals. And he was a big dude, but I go, "Excuse me, sir, you can't smoke in the car." And then he goes, "Look, motherfucker, I'm paying you for this ride. I'll smoke whatever the fuck I want in your car. Fuck you." And I went, "Yes, sir." I wasn't getting in a fight with him. It was a short ride. I just got
crack deal go down in my cab, and they dropped a crack rock. And I went, "Excuse me, sir, you dropped your crack." He goes, "You can keep that. If I wanted it, I wouldn't have told you dropped it."
Yeah, no, thank you, sir. I'll take a cash tip, not a crack rock tip.
Yeah,
but you must know, like you must have the same kind of, especially when you drive overnight. I drove overnight.
I did nights for 2 years.
So I was just like the take drunk people home express for a lot of the night. From like 1 a.m. until like 3 a.m. Just driving drunk people home.
Yeah, I did a lot of drunk people, bartenders, call girls. I live in sailors. So I live in I worked in Bremerton, Washington, and there's a naval station there. And I would drunk sailors always like, "Where are the women at? They're at this bar. They're not pretty, but that's where they're at." Or again, where can I buy drugs at? I can't tell you where to buy drugs at. If I tell you where to buy drugs and you get busted, I go to jail.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's felicitating. It's the same thing as being a pimp. I was able to drop them off. So I'd say, "I'll drop you off on this street corner and come back get you in 15 minutes. That's best I can do,
Yeah, you mentioned call girls. I was surprised at the number of call girls that I was picking up and dropping off. It was surprising to me. And then the most surprising thing to me is that I worked on Valentine's Day 2 years in a row. And Valentine's Day was the busiest night for call girls. I drove so many call girls to people on Valentine's Day. And then one of them, it was so funny, some of them are chatty. And one of them was like, "Yeah, you seem like a cool guy. I'm going to give you my card. Maybe I'll give you a discount or something." And I'm like, "No, don't give me your card." And for some reason, she wanted to sit in the front. Some people just go, "Look, I feel uncomfortable sitting in the back. Is it okay if I sit in the front?" And I don't care. I go, "Sure." So she's putting her business cards in my like side panel thing, that thing between the seat.
Yeah.
She's putting the card in there. I'm like, "Lady, you can't leave me this card. My wife uses this car sometimes, and I don't want to explain to my wife why there's a hooker's business." And it was obviously a hooker's business card, like Sensual Pleasures by Candy or something, and a picture of her, like a boob shot of her and a phone number. I'm like, "Please take this card. I don't know. Thank you."
I picked up the lady that was the call girl, the madam, whatever she was. I picked her up, and she's like, "Oh, you seem nice. Would you mind picking people up? Like, you pay me cash? I don't care."
Yeah, that's how I was. Yeah.
Then got busted, and I was just like, "What happened?" I ran into her at a bar one night. She's like, "Yeah, I got busted. I just got out of jail." I'm like, "Oh, that sucks. All right."
Yeah, that's too bad. That's terrible, right? Yeah. Yeah, and I had a few that were like obviously like drugged out and shit, picked them up. And the weirdest thing that ever happened, I had a girl get in the back of my car by herself. Like I picked her up at a bar, and she was so drunk that she passed out in the back of my car. And then she wouldn't wake up. And I was pretty new at Uber driving, but one thing I knew is like, I'm not touching this girl. I'm not putting my hands on her or shaking her to wake her up. But luckily, I was taking her home, and she lived like 4 or 5 doors down from a police station. So I pulled in front of the police station. I left her locked the car, went inside, and I told him what was happening. And the guy goes, "Female in the back of your car, passed out drunk." And I said, "Yeah, and I don't want to touch her or shake her." And he goes, "Yeah. No, I'll get you a female officer." So a female officer came out and shook the shit. She had to shake the shit out of her, and then kind of helped her get up. She couldn't even walk. They had to like drag her into her apartment.
That happened to me. I had to call an ambulance because the lady wouldn't wake up.
Oh, holy shit. That's even worse.
Like, and I used to be a bartender in my 20s, and I'm like, yeah, this is karma. People drunk, and yeah, she wouldn't wake up, didn't know where she lived. I just pulled over, called my dispatch. They said, call 911, tell them where you're at. Ambulance came out, and she went to detox. Ran into her like 2 days later. She was all mad at me, and I'm like, I could have just left you in the street. I was told by cab drivers, just put her in the plow of the street and go through her purse and grab her money. Like,
grab her money first. Well, my concern is in this Me Too kind of culture. Like, the last thing I want to do is put my hands anywhere on a fucking unconscious woman because she could say anything later, you know?
Yeah, this is 2020 years ago, so
it was still. It's better safe than sorry.
Drop someone off, you know. I used to like my favorite thing being a cab driver is when I coming back from the jail and see someone hitchhiking. I'd pick them up all the time, you know, because my buddy got a DWI and I had to go into jail with, and then they won't give me I don't have no money for a cab. I'm like, where you at? I'm over here. I'll give you a free ride, man. Don't worry about it. And we've all been there, you know.
Yeah, I did that a few times because I would be driving by someplace in Philly called CFCF, I think it's called, and it's like the short-term jail where they take everybody after you're arraigned. And there would always be guys walking down that street, and I could look at them and tell they just got out of jail. And even if they weren't thumbing it, most of them weren't thumbing it, I would just pull over and go, where do you got to go? Because, yeah, you're right. Everybody's been there, right? And I go, all right, I'm going downtown. I'll take you with me. And I felt like every time I did something like that, it was like I'm setting up some good karma for me, you know. And they were all thankful to get fucked, man. You just got out of jail and you don't have $1 in your pocket, and some guy just pulls over at random. And I would tell him, like, I'm an Uber driver, but I'm taking a break right now, so I'll take you wherever you're going to go. And especially if they were going somewhere I knew I could get better, you know, rides from, like downtown. Great, I'll take you downtown because there's going to be rides there. If it was slow, especially, I would do stuff like that.
We had this guy named Leroy, and he was famous for calling for a cab and saying, the money's at the place. And then get there, go, I don't got any money. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Yeah.
And he beat him up. He beat him down. He beat him bloody. And then he did it to me like 2 weeks later. And I'm like, you know, didn't you just get your butt kicked for this? He was like, what are you going to do? I drove him out in the middle of the boonies. I drove him out where there's no.
All right, you ain't got no money? Yeah, that's how I would be. Like, Philly is like across the bridge. Across the bridge is New Jersey. So I'd have been an asshole. Like, you're going to Jersey, bro. I'm gonna drop you off in New Jersey. Good luck walking home. You're gonna have to walk over a bridge, dude, or pay me, right?
This place called Seaback, and Seaback's it's a big area. It's the boonies, you know. And I take him out to Scenic Beach, which is like the furthest park out. Drive, and he's like, "You're kidnapping me. You don't got no money. Call cops." He's like, "I don't have a phone, Mom. I don't tell you that I get out." And
that'll learn you.
After that, he always like, "You got money? You got money."
Yeah, I had to throw people out. Like, I pulled over and just said, "Get out of my car" a few times. If they were like really nasty and belligerent, you know, just pulling over, like, "Get out, get your shit out of my car." You know, my favorite were the ghetto people that would want you to like pick them up and drive them like 1.5 miles to the supermarket, or you would get them at the supermarket and they would go like, "Aren't you going to help me with my bags?" And when I first started doing it, I would get out, help them with their bags, and then I would take them to their house. They'd have 15 bags in my trunk, and I would take them all up and put them on their porch or help them. And then they wouldn't even tip you $1. So I stopped doing it. I just said, it's taking me 20 minutes to help these people with their groceries. So then I'm like, I would pull up to the grocery and they'd be like, "Aren't you going to help me?" I'd go, "Yeah, I'll help." And I would push the trunk release and the trunk would pop up. And I'd go, "There, I'm helping," you know? And then it'd be like, "No, aren't you going to help me with the bags?" Like, "No, I'm a driver. I'm not a bag hauler," you know?
Right. That we're moving using a taxi.
Yeah, but I don't think they understand that. Like, if I did that every time, it's 20 minutes. It's 10 minutes for me to get out of my car and help you put your bags in my car. They got 3 cartloads of shit. And then, I take you home, and then it's 10 minutes to get all your shit out of my car. Or even if they're doing it themselves, it's terrible because you're waiting and waiting and waiting. I do miss driving Uber, though. I had some fun adventures. Some nights it was like, this is crazy.
But the thing I hated was picking up a single mom with 2 kids, taking her to the house, waiting
Taking
for
her
her to go in with the kids in the car, coming back.
Taking her where? Taking her where?
That happened quite a bit, and I finally just like, why are we going to the crack house? Oh no, I owe this person money.
Oh, the crack house! You were taking moms to the crack house with their 2 kids
at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she goes, "No, I owe this guy money," and I'm like, and he can't wait till the morning for it. He needs it at 3 o'clock.
He needs it 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
You're looking like you're jonesing. I'm sorry, honey. You're smoking the last pipe. You're on crack. Sorry. And she'd be like, no.
Yeah. When you do that stuff, I guess you deal with a lot of. Yeah, you deal with a lot of drugs. My favorite though were the pool rides. You've never had to do that. The pool rides work like this: like if you've got 5 seats in your car.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you've got 5 seats in your car and 5 people are going generally the same way, you stop, pick up one, they get in, and then you go and pick up the next person that's going to the same location. But it was crazy because sometimes there'd be like blonde hair, blue eyed, like cheerleader girls, and then like some ghetto crackhead dude would get in next to them. And just the awkward conversations that I would hear between these people, and the dudes would be hitting on the chicks sometimes. And the chicks would be like horrified, like, oh, geez, who's this crazy guy from the ghetto? It was fun.
Yeah, I miss driving. I miss some of the people. I used to pick up a lot of people going to dialysis. And there was this one lady, Dora, and I love Dora, older black lady from Chicago, was living in Bremerton. Sweetest lady I ever met. And I stopped seeing her. I found out 2 months later she had passed away, and I was just like looking at her son going, your mom's dead? I loved your mom. Your mom loved you, man. I picked her up all the time. She was just the sweetest lady, always asking how I'm doing, asking about my parents, asking about my brothers and sisters, conversations before I was married. Just a sweet lady. And then when she passed, because I didn't know. Just stopped calling, and she was in a nursing home, and then she stopped calling, and I was just like, and I ran to her son. He's like, yeah, my mom passed. I'm like,
oh yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I had a few that were like normal customers that I found out died or something like that. And then I had a few. It was weird. I had this one couple in my neighborhood I took to sports games all the time. They only lived a few blocks from me, so it was like right when I started my shift, I would go and go, oh, it's them again. And they took, I would take them to the sports games. It was fun. Some of the stuff was fun.
Oh, there was one lady, her husband, I forget when they did something with the Seattle Mariners. So she had lifetime season tickets. She went to every game. I'd pick her up after the games, a lot. And it was always like if we're shooting from the ferry dock, because we have a ferry in Birmingham to Seattle, from the ferry to her house was like $3. She always gave you $5. And another cab company picked her up and drove her all the way around and charged her $15. And she called the police and explained. And somehow I'm with the guy that has to go talk to the police from the other cab company. I don't know what's going on. How much?
Yeah.
$3.80. She gives you $5. And he goes, how do you go? And I'm like, I go up 6th Street and I turn on Bonita. And he goes, how'd you go? Well, I went around the Manette Bridge and the Warren Avenue Bridge. He's like, so you went all the way? He goes, all right, yeah, she's right. You're wrong. Because the guy called the cops on her because she wouldn't pay him more than $5, and it's $15. You went the long way.
Yeah. Oh, I love that shit. I used to get ghetto people too. Before they would get in, they would call the Uber, and before they would get in, they would go, "Yo, bro, how much is this ride going to be?" And I go, "I don't know. Use the ride estimator or whatever, And then I'm like, "Oh, here we go again." So I had a second phone, and I'm doing the ride estimate, and I'm like, "It's going to be $7." And the guy's like, "Yo, how about we do it off Uber? And I just give you $5, bro." And I'm like, dude, I don't set the prices. Like, I don't set the prices. If you don't have $7, why would you call the fucking Uber?
All the time.
Yeah, it happened all the time. That or ghetto people would claim that I went the long way. But what I always did is I followed the Uber app. So, like, if the Uber app told me, even if I thought that may be the wrong way and I could do it quicker doing it a different way, I would just follow the Uber app. Whatever way the Uber GPS told me to take the ride and take the person to the location, I did it. So constantly people would complain to Uber, ghetto people, complain to Uber, went the wrong way on purpose to make the ride longer. I'm not paying this. And they would take the money back from me. But then my defense was always to Uber, check the GPS log. I did what you told me to. And then they would go back and say, no, our GPS goes the shortest distance or whatever. But like fighting with ghetto people, I don't miss. I was looking forward to, I thought I would be Ubering as much as possible in the suburbs and not so much in the city anymore. But then this COVID shit started and I have not yet done one driving day.
When I drove, it was always $5. Hey man, how do you do for $5? I'm like that. And I got to the point driving taxi. That's an $8 yeah, I can do it for $5. And this one guy one time goes, hey, I'm going cross town. It's going to be $15. He goes, can you do it for $5? And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll do it for $5 if you hand me $5. But if you hand me a 20, it's $20. Guy's like, that sounds fair. And we start talking. It's about 10, 15-minute ride. We get there. 20, thank you. And put it in my pocket. He's like, oh, for real? And I went, yes, for real. We made the deal.
We made a deal, dude. Yeah.
We did. He goes, I don't even have a $5. And I'm like, then why'd you make the deal? He's like, I didn't think about it all the time. Or people be like, how, like, you're going the way. How do you want me to go? I'll go the way you want me to go. You just tell me how you want to go, and I'll run the meter. And I'll tell you right now, it's going to be $6. And if it's $6 or under, you could pay under. I go, if it's over $6, you got to pay that. And he goes, okay. You know, and all the time it'd be like, "Oh, you were right."
$7.50, yeah.
I told you. You know, the way I would have went $6. So, yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah, you know the other thing that I always got that I hated was like friends and family find out that you're driving Uber and they think that they're doing you a favor, so they would go like, "Hey, can you pick me up tonight at 7:00?" And I go, "No, because I could be in New Jersey and have to drive 45 minutes to you." To give you a $6 ride, you're not helping me. You're not helping. They don't understand that, like, I could be anywhere. You know, I could pick up somebody in Center City, Philadelphia, and they could be going an hour into New Jersey. And then I got to drive back from Jersey, hopefully get a ride from somebody in Jersey going into the city to make that whole hour, 2 hours worth it. But, like, you're not helping me out giving me a $6 ride at 7 p.m. on a certain day, you know, because then I have to be there.
I had a bar, and so they would call and ask for me. But sometimes I'm not in county. Sometimes I'm really far away.
You could be really far away. Yeah,
I'm like an hour away. Just have them pick up anybody. Or one morning, I picked a guy up at he was going to go to at a hotel. He was going to go buy a car, so I was taking him to the used car dealership. And then he says, "Nah, I just want to go to Portland." And I'm like, "Portland Avenue in Tacoma." He goes, "No, Portland, Oregon." All right, it's gonna be $350. Fine. And then we get to Portland. He goes, actually, I'm going to Newburgh, Oregon, and it's an hour south of Portland. I'm like, that's another $50. He's like, not a problem. And then he got mad at me that I didn't know where I was going in Newburgh, Oregon. And I'm
you're like, bitch, I've never even been to Newburgh, Oregon.
I don't know. And the guy was like, how could you not know? And I'm like, because I drive in Bremerton. I know Kitsap County, Mason County, Pierce County, Jefferson County. Those are the counties I drive through. Those are the ones that I know. I go,
that's how I felt about Jersey. Anytime somebody, you know, was in Jersey, like, oh, I made a wrong turn or something, and they'd go, well, you know, what are you doing? You made a wrong turn. And I'd go, I don't know. I'm from Philly. You know, I know Philly like the back of my hand. I don't know shit about Jersey. And Jersey sucks. They have all these crazy, like, you got to turn left to turn right and stuff. They have these circles and shit, and it's crazy.
That's all the new thing around.
You miss a turn and you're 5 miles until you can turn off again or something. Jersey sucks. Somebody asked, any thoughts on crypto? Jay Crypto Minded asked, any thoughts on crypto? I'm not a big fan of crypto. I tried mining a long time ago when it was still possible to do, and then I liked crypto. But lately, you need a $1 billion supercomputer to mine crypto. So my interest in crypto faded away. I think that it's fake money, but then again, I think that the US dollar is fake money. So yeah.
My thoughts on crypto. I like Bigfoot.
Cash Cab was awesome. Isn't that where CW is from? Yeah, he's from New Jersey. He's from that backward state next to mine. Yes. And Mario Heat, New Jersey. Well, you probably know if you look at a map that New Jersey's right next to Pennsylvania. I think that
New
CW
Jersey.
though he's in North Jersey, so he's like 2 hours from my house. I think something like that in North Jersey.
These Kevin Smith films.
Yeah, that's the only good thing that ever came out of New Jersey, right?
Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen. That's about it.
Well, I won't even count Bon Jovi as a good thing, but I'll forgive you.
First album was decent, but I was 13, so I really know what decent was.
Yeah, not a fan of Bon Jovi. Really not a fan of Bon Jovi. Are you into precious metals then? J Crypto, here's what I do have. I have some coins that are silver. And I always look through change to see if I find 1964 and before coins. And I like $50 and dollar coins that are silver. But otherwise, no, I don't collect precious metals. I'm poor. And there's one of Jonicide's dogs. You got like 3 of them, don't you?
I got 5 of them, yeah. I got 3 on the bed, 1 in front of the bed, and the birthday boy. It's one of my dog's birthdays today, we found out. And he's floating around somewhere.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
Yeah, so today was pretty laid back show with no subject, and I think we're gonna wrap it up here shortly.
My idea, show about nothing, went 6.5 hours.
Yeah, and everybody loved it too. So thank you for the suggestion.
I thought that was hilarious. My
Oh,
phone
and Carmen Grays is here and says, "Look, guys, we all know what must be done. We need to start stroking the precious Second Amendment and overturn this BS voter fraud." Okay, Carmen Grays. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to be hearing about voter fraud for the next 3 months. And
I like what
3
Oregon,
years.
they legalized mushrooms and they decriminalized hard drugs to a certain amount.
Yeah, you could do heroin now. All
I'm
you
like-
want.
Let's see where they go with this. Is this a good thing? Because I think addiction's a mental health problem, not a criminal one. I want to see how they handle it. Is it going to be a good thing? Is it going to be a shitstorm? Let's find out.
Well, I'm sure every other state will be watching them to see if the crime rates go up or down.
Well, Portugal did that in the 70s, and their drug use went down from I'm not sure on the numbers. I think it was 30% down to less than 5%. And that their heroin use is just like into one city, really. Hi, Robin.
Coming from the live chat. Hi, Robin. Good show, gentlemen. Yeah, Robin, if you wanted to come on, I forgot I could have sent you a link, and I didn't. I'm bad at this. This is kind of last minute today. I was going to take another day off, but decided that I got so little done on my cabin today. What happened on my cabin today is I had to put these logs up on the top of the wall, and I spent like all day, 10 hours doing it, and I was 3/4 of the way done the whole thing. And then I went to point the back of cement, like move the ladder around the wall, and then like 3/4 of it just fell down. Oh. And I was like, motherfucker. I should have just left it. So tomorrow I got to try again. That's all I can do. So I figured I got so little done on the cabin today. I should come here and water this garden and not take. I had a few weeks where I came to the cabin from Wednesday to Sunday, and I was so tired after working outside all day that I just said, I'm not doing a show. I just can't, but today I had a little more energy since most of my work today just fell down. And that's only I got to say, though, it's only the second time where I had an avalanche like that happen, where like a whole day's worth of work just fell over and you got to do it again the next day. But the last time this happened, I did a much better job the second time. So this time, now I know what I got to do is I got to do like half of it and just let it dry so that it's good and solid before you start putting more shit on top of shit. Just imagine like 25 little logs on it, balancing on another log with cement on top of it in between it all. Bad things are bound to happen. So got to start all over again tomorrow.
Cabin though.
By the way, I agree with you on the drug issue. I think it should be. There's no way that somebody's life should be ruined if they have drug problems. They should expunge their records. Because if you're going to be a felon, now you're going to work at McDonald's for the rest of your life. You're going to want to be on drugs if you're a felon and you can only get a minimum wage job somewhere because nobody will give you a job. You can't make a living.
Wanting to do a road trip to Oregon for some of those mushrooms. Was
Oh, listen to this. Heroin addiction cut in half in Portugal by decriminalization and treating addiction like a medical mental health problem, which is the right way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And J Crypto, these doctors get people addicted to opioids, then stop giving it to them, making people look for an answer or an alternative in the form of heroin. I know I've had at least a few people.
Were on. I had a buddy hurt his back, got put on oxys. Next thing you know, they cut him off that. He's doing heroin.
Mhm.
Thanks, he's off heroin, but he thinks he can drink. And, and that's legal. And he's like, but it's just beer. But he drinks 20 beers a day. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I know a few people that started on opioids, and then they get off of the, you're right. The doctor cuts them off. Then they start buying Oxy on the street or Percocets on the street. If they can't get that, then they go, well, I'll try this heroin thing, and then their lives are ruined. So, and yeah, then the one opioid company just had to pay like billions of dollars. They're never going to pay it, but they got fined like billions of dollars.
They only had to pay like $250 million instead of like the 3 or 4 the lawsuit said. Because they didn't want to go after the company owners and the CEOs and the board. But I'm all, wait, if a corporation's a person, then they're liable.
Yeah, Ian Mendham is here in the UK and says the UK is backwards too. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I just wish that people would treat people with drug problems for what they are. People that have drug problems. Having drug problems and being a criminal are two different things. But I understand that sometimes those two things intersect. People start stealing shit to buy drugs or whatever.
People are doing crimes because they can't work because they have a drug problem. So,
yeah.
Or their crime is selling drugs because they thought, hey, you know what? And I don't know anyone. I mean, I used to sell drugs. I don't know anyone that sold didn't want the drugs. It wasn't like you were going, hey, you want? They came to you.
Yeah, you weren't like around the schoolyard trying to get kids hooked on drugs. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you're looking for some meth? Let me make a phone call. Oh yeah, it'll be here in like 10 minutes. Cool. All right. Oh, you want some cocaine? I'm gonna go get some cocaine. I'll be back in like an hour. And show up. Okay, cocaine. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy life doing that though. Like growing up in Philadelphia, I knew a lot of kind of strange characters, and one of them was a drug dealer. But he was like many drug dealers, he was very unsuccessful at it because he was a user too. So he would like sell drugs to finance his own drug problem, but he was always broke, but he was always acting like, like he had all this money and shit. But we all knew, like, dude, you're broke as shit living with your mom, selling fucking nickel bags of weed and little tiny bags of fucking super cut coke. It's like 1% coke, 99% baby powder.
I had my one of my meth dealers, which was a high school friend of mine, calls me up one day. He's like, man, they just won't stop. And I'm like, well, take a weekend off, go to Seattle for a weekend, get out of town. And he's just like, well, they'll get mad at me, but they'll come back. They'll be mad at you for like 2 days, and then 3 days they're going to want something. They're going to call you, and you're going to have it. They're going to be all happy to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine dealing with a bunch of degenerate drug users day in, day out would be a fun job.
5 because he didn't want to be tied down. And I'm like, but you're selling drugs 24/7. I mean, and all he did, he went to college the entire time.
And you're right. You're doing it 24/7. You're not getting your phone because every phone call is a couple bucks for you to keep.
Him too. He's homeless, but he's not selling drugs, and he's trying to get clean, but he didn't look clean. But I haven't seen this guy in 10 years, and I ran into him 2 times in 1 week. So.
Well, you know what, Jonicide? Some of our other panel members never showed up, so fuck them. No, we're gonna just wrap things up here. I appreciate that you took the time to come in, and tomorrow we're gonna get back to a little bit more structured. I have a presentation to give tomorrow night, and then we'll see what else happens. Right?
All right.
Good to see you, Jonicide. Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Good night. All right. Jonicide says bye. And there we are, friends. So I didn't have a plan today. I thought we were going to get more calls or participants. Spooky said, on the phone, be there soon. Sorry, but this is super important. No, it's quite all right, Spooky. We didn't have a plan or a need for any of the people who couldn't make it. We had a fun time. We had Jason Quitt, and we dispelled the myth of him wanting to murder me over some jokes I made on Twitter. We're Jason Quitt and I are good, which is good to clear the air and not continue to. Yeah, my pleasure, Jonicide. Always my pleasure. It's so funny. I didn't know you were a taxi driver. We would have had that talk a long time ago because, boy, we both had similar adventures, right? Driving around, especially at night. Late at night, especially. Mario Heat says, good random apocalypse cabin show, Cambion. Yeah, we're here. We're here at the apocalypse cabin, friends. Hopefully I'll make a little more progress on that wall that fell down on top of me, or half a wall that fell down on top of me earlier today. Yeah. I think that tomorrow night, like I said, we're going to have a more structured show. I have a presentation to give, getting back to some mysterious and strange subjects, and we'll see what else happens. I'm here until Sunday, so I'm going to try to do a show tomorrow night. And if I get home in time on Sunday, I'm going to do a show from the usual Truthseekers studio at my house on Sunday night. But we'll see what happens. I want to thank everybody for coming here, especially because this was kind of random and unplanned nonsense. It is what it is, friends. Sometimes we actually have a topic and, data and things to share, and sometimes we're just winging it. I wanted to check in with everybody, let you know that I'm still here, and here, especially at the Apocalypse Cabin. But we really have been streaming more than usual lately. Like I realized last night that we did 21 hours or something of show time in the past 7 days. So yesterday I took off, knowing full well that we had done our due diligence for the past 7 days and given enough time to this thing. I needed some time for myself. Had a nice relaxing evening last night, just getting ready for the work day. I sharpened some chainsaws and a few other things like that. Changed a chainsaw blade, sharpened an axe, like, cabin shit. I did cabin shit last night. The day always, if I take the time, if I stop and take an hour or two to sharpen all the tools, the workday goes much, much better. So I always enjoy, when I get to do that. Light the wood stove up, have a nice meal, sharpen a bunch of shit. I feel manly when I sharpen axes and chainsaws. It's funny how that works. So friends, until tomorrow night, I'm Stephen Cambion. God bless all of you. And your family, really. I know it's a trying time for all of us, and it's a stressful time between COVID stress and now all this election stress. We'll see, listen, the world's not going to change that much no matter which one of these rich white assholes is going to be running our country. So I, for one, am going to try at least to not worry so much about it. And I think that's good advice. So God bless you and good night to all of you. Good night.